Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are about to get married, and the timeline they are working with has everybody spiraling right now. Like, not eventually married, not someday married, before NFL training camp married. Travis Kelce just confirmed he is coming back for a 14th season with the Kansas City Chiefs, which was already big news on its own, and then he casually dropped that he wants to be a married man before July 22nd. That is when training camp kicks off, which means somewhere between now and the end of July, two of the most famous people alive are going to quietly walk down an aisle and change their last names, or not change their last names, but either way become husband and wife. And if you think that is not the most chaotic and romantic thing you have heard all week, then I genuinely do not know what to tell you. Make sure you subscribe to this channel because we're just getting into it, and there is so much more to unpack here. Let us just take a second to appreciate how wild this actually is. Travis Kelce is 36 years old. He is a 3-time Super Bowl champion. He is arguably the greatest tight end to ever play the game of football. And he got on the Pat McAfee show to talk about his return to the Chiefs, and somehow the conversation turned into him basically giving a love speech about Taylor Swift. He said that watching her continue to show up for her craft, watching her keep finding new things to write about, keep finding new melodies, and still have genuine joy in what she does, inspired him to keep playing. He connected their drives. He compared their ambitions. He looked at this woman and saw a mirror of his own hunger for his work and said out loud that it made him want to keep going. That is not a press release answer. That is a man who is genuinely, deeply in love and has absolutely no problem with the entire world knowing it. And Taylor Swift on the other side of this is 36 years old and somehow still at the very top of everything. Her Eras tour became the highest grossing concert tour in history. She has been re-recording her old albums and winning back ownership of her music while simultaneously releasing new material and dominating every chart available. The woman does not stop. She does not slow down. She does not phone it in. And now she is engaged to a man who went on national television and said that watching her work ethic makes him want to be better at his own job. These two are genuinely each other's biggest fans, and that is not something you see very often at this level of fame. Now here is where the story gets even better, because we need to go back to where this whole thing started. July 2023. Taylor Swift is in the middle of her Eras tour, which by that point was already being described as a cultural event rather than just a concert. She plays Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, and Travis Kelce, who is already a football legend and apparently also a very bold human being, tries to give her a friendship bracelet with his phone number on it backstage. He wanted to shoot his shot. The man prepared a physical object to hand to Taylor Swift with his contact information on it. That is either the most endearing thing ever or the most audacious thing ever, and honestly it might be both. But here's the thing. He never got to give it to her because Taylor does not do meet and greets while she is on tour. She is focused. She is working. She is not backstage taking photos with people between sets. So the bracelet plan did not work. But here's what Travis Kelce did next that is important. He went on his own podcast and talked about it. He told this story publicly. He said he tried to give her a friendship bracelet with his number, and it did not work out, and he was bummed about it. Most people in that position would have quietly moved on and hoped nobody found out. Travis Kelce broadcast it to his audience. And somehow, that transparency, that willingness to just be open and kind of goofy about liking someone, is what started the whole thing. Because apparently Taylor heard about it. And apparently she thought it was charming enough to start a conversation. They reportedly started talking informally in September 2023. And then came the moment that broke the internet and rearranged the entire landscape of celebrity culture for the next year and a half. Taylor Swift showed up to Arrowhead Stadium to watch a Kansas City Chiefs game. She sat in a suite. She sat next to Donna Kelce, Travis's mom. And the cameras found her almost immediately. She was smiling. She was cheering. She was clearly having the time of her life. And when the game ended, Travis came to walk out with her, and that was it. That single moment, that walk, that image, changed everything. The coverage that followed was unlike anything that had happened at the intersection of sports and pop culture in a very long time. NFL ratings went up. New audiences who had never watched a single down of football in their lives started tuning into games because Taylor Swift might be there. Stadium suites became appointment television. Every single time the broadcast cut to her sitting in that suite, social media would completely detonate. Sports analysts were discussing her presence in the stadium the way they discussed game film. People had opinions, strong ones. Some people loved every second of it, and some people were deeply annoyed. But here's the thing about both of those groups. They were all watching. That is not nothing. That is actually kind of genius, even though none of it was calculated at all. And through all of that noise, the two of them just kept going. They kept showing up to things together. They kept holding hands in public. They went to events. They traveled. They built something real underneath all of the cameras and commentary and speculation that was constantly swirling around them. And then in August, they announced their engagement through a joint Instagram post shared on both of their accounts at the same time, and the caption was 11 words that the entire internet repeated for days afterward. They wrote that their English teacher and their gym teacher were getting married. That is it. That is the whole caption. No elaborate love letter. No lengthy statement. Just that one sentence, funny and warm and perfectly them, and the whole world completely lost it. The caption matters more than it might seem on the surface. Think about who Taylor Swift is and how long she has been famous. She has been a public figure since she was a teenager. She has had relationships that became tabloid fodder, that were analyzed to death, that turned into narratives she did not always choose. She has had her personal life treated like public property for a very long time. And this engagement announcement, the one she chose to make when she was finally with someone she actually wanted to build a life with, was a joke. A funny, self-aware, completely unpretentious little caption that made millions of people laugh. That is a woman who is happy. That is a woman who is comfortable. That is a woman who is not performing anything for anyone. Travis has operated the same way throughout all of this. He is not precious about his feelings. He does not talk about Taylor in careful, managed sound bites. He just says what he thinks. He showed up on the Pat McAfee show and talked about how watching her work made him want to keep playing football, and he said it like it was the most natural thing in the world, which for him it clearly is. There is something genuinely refreshing about a person who is that straightforward about loving someone. No mystery. No deflection, just honesty. And now here they are planning a wedding. According to people, it is going to be a private affair and not a spectacle, which, when you think about it, is the only move that makes sense for them. They have been generous with the public throughout this relationship. They have let cameras catch moments. They have made announcements. They have shown up together at big events. But the actual wedding, the actual ceremony where they look at each other and say the words that matter, that is going to be theirs. Not ours. Not the internet's. Not a magazine's. Theirs. The fact that Travis tied this to his football timeline is so on brand for him, it is almost funny. He is thinking about training camp. He wants to go into his 14th season as a married man. He has a schedule in his head, a game plan, and the wedding is part of the plan before the season starts. That is the mind of an athlete applying the same structure to his personal life that he applies to his professional one. It is actually kind of sweet when you think about it that way. He is not floating around hoping it happens. He has a timeline. He is working toward it. He wants to be married to this woman, and he wants it to happen before July 22nd. The entire arc of this relationship, from a failed friendship bracelet at a stadium to a joint engagement announcement and a wedding before training camp, is genuinely one of the best things that has happened in pop culture in years. Not because they are famous, though they obviously are, and not because the media coverage has been relentless, though it obviously has been, but because underneath all of that, there is a real story here. Two people at the top of their fields who somehow found each other through a concert and a friendship bracelet, and a mom who agreed to sit in a suite with a pop star she had never met before. Two people who clearly push each other to keep going, who see themselves in each other's work ethic and ambition, who can write a one-sentence engagement announcement and have it feel more honest than most lengthy public statements ever do. Somewhere between now and July 22nd, these two are going to get married in a room full of only the people they love. No spectacle, no coverage deal, no performance. Just Taylor and Travis, the English teacher and the gym teacher, officially starting the next chapter. And if that does not make you feel something, you might want to check your pulse. That is the story, that is the full timeline, and if you want to be the first person in your friend group to know what happens next with these two, and everything else going on in pop culture right now, hit that subscribe button below because we are not slowing down anytime soon.